The history of disability representation in Cdrama is checkered. It generally ranges from not bad to a bit cringe, when it exists at all. For too often, the only disabled character in the whole drama is the villain. And not at all uncommonly, the heroic characters that are normally respectful of everyone are given a free pass on being disrespectful to disabled characters, particularly disabled women. If a disabled character is not a villain, it's likely they are a comic character, or perhaps a heroine's pet in the case of a child. But in recent years, there has been a shift. It was slow and quiet. It was not led by any one person, though it does have a traceable origin. And it was not without opposition. Word of Honor changed Cdrama forever. And we're only just now starting to see how much. While the actual representation in Word of Honor still followed the standard patterns, the fact that the stars were villain protagonists changed it ever so slightly. And it had more than one disabled character. There were 3, and 2 of them were heroic, sort of, even if a bit comedic too. And then there was more like that. A Journey to Love had 2, both a heroic character and the villain. And the villain was highly sympathetic. A war wound resulting in a permanent limp is bad enough. But he also lost his position as crown prince and had to watch his incompetent younger brother ruin everything. It doesn't make what he did right, but he's pretty understandable. Another shift has been going on in Cdrama as well. And the First Jasmine ties these two together. This second shift is in what type of characters, and indeed, what type of actors get to be heroes. This, too, has been slow, but goes back even further, to Long Fei in The Legend of Yun Si. That drama cast a character you might expect to be a hero as a villain, a legitimate emperor who governed in a way that in his time would have been considered wise. But historical dramas aren't about history, and what we expect from a leader in a government is different now than it was then. And this, too, is relevant for the First Jasmine. But in some ways, Mo Jing-li, the villain of the First Jasmine, is a commentary on Long Fei, in the sense that Mo Jing-li believes he's the character Long Fei actually is. The difference is that Mo Jing-li is lying to himself. He isn't a competent leader. And the reasons he has devoted followers is purely because of his noble lineage. He treats his people horribly and makes poor choices. Furthermore, this emperor is not selfish and prone to fits of rage when his plans don't work. But the drama acknowledges that Ma Jingli thinks of himself as the hero by casting a classically handsome actor. However, they can hardly be accused of confusing the issue. Cheng Lei, the actor who plays the heroic Mo Su Yao, has both a gritty handsomeness, befitting a general, and an ethereal beauty, befitting a romantic lead. He has the dark complexion classically associated with villainous characters in Cdrama. Yeah. But also, the delicate features of a classical hero. A dark complexion set off by the pale morning colors the character is dressed in, which give the character an air of innocence. And this is appropriate. Ye Li finds Mo Su Yao in hellish stasis, which he has been in for the last 8 years. He has grown older, but not grown up. Too naive still, Mo Su Yao believes the lies told to him by a charlatan, and due to his guilt, is justifying his own abuse. Ye Li came believing that what was trapping her husband was his injured legs before she met him, but finds that this disability was not holding him back at all. Side note, the character's wheelchair is low-key so cool. What was trapping him was lies. Lies told to him by the world. Lies told to him by his own mind. Lies that had been carelessly created by the Empress Dowager and her minions without any thought being given to the harm they would cause. The plot starts with Ye Li uncovering the true identity of the charlatan abusing him. This immediately frees him to take his life into his own hands again, and he does. His wheelchair doesn't hold him back from beginning to investigate crimes, including the truth about what happened to his older brother. His eventual choice to try treatment is presented not as a necessity, but as a result of a new desire rising within him. Learning that an embassy will be coming from Zhangbei, the country whose army he was fighting when he was injured, he wants to duel against their champion. Indeed, their champion happens to be the very general who was leading that army back then. Defeating this general in a duel will let him put the past behind him, overcome his guilt and insecurity. Technically, the battle was a victory, but a too costly victory. Because the enemy had better weapons than expected. Put a pin in that. Secondarily, he's also catching romantic feelings for Ye Li and wants to perform the duties of a husband, including protecting her physically. While this is technically speaking unnecessary, neither he nor she knows this at that point. And she does not know it because of her own disability. Hers is in her mind. And as the plot begins, it's not obvious. At first, people simply think she is an academic who talks to herself because she's lost in her own head. One night, when she hallucinates that there are monkeys in the house and is deathly afraid of them, Mo Su Yao realizes her mind is broken. And he is a general, He has seen broken minds before. He knows that she must have suffered something terrible to cause this. Though at this point, he mistakenly blames her asshole father and stepmother. Ye Wenhua is indeed an asshole who caused his first wife's death and then covered it up. But it is also true that the death of her mother was not what triggered Ye Li's disability. She experiences both hallucinations and dissociation, as well as selective amnesia. She knows what year it is, but believes people who are dead are alive. However, she knows that her mother is dead. So evidently that wasn't the thing that triggered her hallucinations. She also has two alternate personalities. Her maid, who was her best friend as a child, and her martial arts master. These are the clues which Mo Suyao eventually follows to find out what really happened to her, which also reveals the lies which trapped him and the entire nation. This drama does a really wonderful thing. The villainous Empress Dowager is not an incompetent caricature. Let's face it, actors do love to sit on the throne and yell insolence at their colleagues. Even Cheng Lei indulged himself in these previous drama, How Dare You? And audiences do love a scenery-chewing Emperor or Empress Dowager. But sometimes, scenery-chewing is better left to somebody else. In this case, Mo Jinli and Marquis Muyang. The casting of the latter character was on point, I might add. It was the same actor who played the villainous Marquis in The Legend of Zhang Hai. He brought the same intensity to this role that he had opposite Xiao Zhan, a true challenge to Cheng Lei and Bai Lu. Empress Dowager Guojin is a restrained and refined woman, a ruler known for her benevolence and reformist zeal. She doesn't yell at ministers or bark orders at palace servants. She also treats her followers well, while they're useful to her. It's when Mo Suyao starts to uncover the links between Marquis Muyang and the Empress Dowager that she suddenly discards him. And as Ye Li begins to uncover the lies surrounding the disgrace of Mo Suyao's brother, Guojin also throws her other ally under the bus to save herself. But the key in exposing her is handed to them by Marquis Muyang's second son. Definitely another reference to the Legend of Zhang Hai. Unlike in that one, though. His elder son is a bastard. Marquis Muyang actually favors his legitimate son, but pretends to the eldest that he is the favored one. And thus, he manipulates Qinsang into being an assassin for him. Earlier on, the two brothers were rivals, but the younger one also harbors a secret respect for the older, and the elder truly loves his brother, unlike in the Legend of Zhang Hai. The Marquis sends Qinsang to break into the prison and assassinate a subordinate before he can tattle and reveal the Marquis's treason. Because, in fact, he framed Mo Suyao's brother for his own crimes back then, which even the Empress Dowager doesn't know. The Marquis then orders another assassin to kill Qinsang, knowing that Mo Suyao will catch him otherwise. But the younger son learns of the deception and follows the assassin secretly. He warns Qinsang of the assassination before escaping himself. Qinsang is wounded, but the warning shout also drew the attention of the prison guards. They find Qinsang's unconscious body and also detain the assassin. Qinsang betrays his father, naturally, and thus earns himself a lighter sentence. Furthermore, his very presence implicates the Empress Dowager's other ally, whom she controlled by blackmail. But Zhang reveals the information that the Empress Dowager tried to hide. He isn't ashamed of being related to a Dowager Imperial consort. And anyway, her husband has been dead the past 8 years. The minor scandal of the revelation that Imperial consort Qin had an affair with Marquis Muyang is completely crushed by the revelation that the Marquis tried to assassinate his own son. After some coaxing, Ye Li recovers part of her memories, specifically the memories around the true cause of her mother's death. She knows her mother had died of injuries, but not what caused the injuries. And in these memories is the true precious knowledge that Mo Suyao's brother, in fact, had an imperial edict, instructing him to return to the capital with his army. But it was stolen. It was Ye Li and her mother who were supposed to give him the edict, as they were going outside the city to Lishan Academy, and those who stole it were Guo Jin's agents. Guo Jin then pinned charges of treason on the Mo family, and while Mo Suyao was eventually cleared of involvement in the scandal, his imprisonment is what caused his injuries to become a permanent disability, which cannot have been unintentional on the part of the Empress Dowager, since Mo Suyao is the elder cousin of the emperor. This is the thing. Guo Jin's benevolence is calculated and manipulative. She is kind only to those who can't threaten her, or whom she thinks cannot. And this is the trait which Mo Jinli uses to hide his treasonous plot. See, Mo Jinli does not have official military power. His title is only nominal. The fief he supposedly rules is not actually within the empire anymore. Mo Jinli realizes that if he acts the fool in public, he can conceal that he is building an unofficial army. But it also is what lets Ye Li get under her guard. And it's here that the First Jasmine throws down a gauntlet in front of traditional drama plots. Mo Jingli's treason, it says, is not the correct way to deal with someone like Guo Jin. Not in real life. This is a historical drama, not a fantasy. What Ye Li does instead is manipulate her into revealing her own misdeeds to the emperor. He removes her from power, noticing that she is a threat to him. Because in fact, Guo Jin did not do everything for her son. She did it for herself. She did it in an effort to seize official power for herself. Because Guo Jin, unlike Ye Li, is obsessed with official power. Ye Li, however, understands that true power comes from knowledge and learning. The second half of the drama is about her healing from her disability, and here is where the drama throws out its final thesis. People do come back from injuries and tragedies stronger, but not because of the suffering. Rather, the process of healing requires uncovering the truth and learning about oneself. This self-knowledge is what makes people stronger. Just as Mo Suyao comes back from his physical injury to defeat the man who defeated him, so Ye Li, with her full memory restored, is able to defeat the person who defeated her. Healing is a more complex process than is typically assumed in modern medicine. The treatment of Mo Suyao's legs is relatively straightforward. Set the bones correctly, then build muscle and tendons back through exercise. The treatment of Ye Li's symptoms is also similarly straightforward. Get her to send her maid away, force her to confront the fact that her masters are dead, go through the grieving process with her. But in both cases, their injuries are protecting them. Mo Suyao's wheelchair protected him from scrutiny by the Empress Dowager until the emperor could come of age. Li's amnesia and dissociation protected her until she could find a way to take down the Empress Dowager. But eventually, they must step from behind the protections. Eventually, they must both face danger. Li, in fact, knows martial arts, and therefore has no need for Mo Suyao to protect her physically. Her alternate personality of her martial arts master was hiding this from her, which initially was a way of saving her from society's disapproval, as well as the tragedy of his death. Her husband's martial power can be placed at the disposal of the realm to defeat Mo Jingli. In fact, Ye Li aids him in this, dueling Mo Jingli to stall him for long enough that Mo Suyao can arrive with an imperial edict. Guo Jian was already dead by the time Mo Jingli arrived. As the son of the former crown prince, however, Mo Jingli might still have claimed the throne. But the mandate of heaven has deserted him, and he dies from the arrows shot by his cousin's soldiers. Exactly 4, to be precise. The hero of this drama is the loyal general who overcame great odds to defend the realm, and the heroine is the woman who upheld morality by challenging conventions. Ye Li's convention changing also leaves a legacy. Ye Li was allowed at Lishan Academy because she was the headmaster's granddaughter. But at the end, the reopened academy accepts female students, and if they can't pay, the Mo family will pay for them. A much more far-reaching reform than anything the Empress Dowager did.